Cool, so we're gonna go nice and chunky.
Yeah, man, I can't help it. I try to go thin, but it never fucking works.
I know what you mean.
I always try, I've tried for years to change it up, and it just doesn't.
So you're saying dark orange, dark,
and then just right along the
Oh,
middle.
yeah, that's fine.
Predominantly dark, and then accents across the bottom, maybe here and there.
I like that. Oh yeah. I mean, many people don't know, like Scam and Sec painted the first graffiti pieces in Austin in 1984. I mean, we're talking, what is that, 31 years ago? 31 years graffiti art has been in Austin. Mainly Scam, Sec, Rab, Rage, Tanner, Kino, all that first generation.
DJ C. Mitch.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What I'm saying is they deserve any area they can control. Well, I respect your ambition, Willie, but you got to have vision.
Like, graffiti is just like the written word of hip-hop. It's an art form, which is usually like just writing. It started out with tags, which is just somebody signing a name someplace. Evolved into throw-ups, then bubble letters. From there came straight letters, which is almost the best because mostly anybody can do it. Then from there came arrows and wild styles and computerized and stuff like that.
As a child growing up, there wasn't one day in my life with my brother that I don't remember him drawing, period.
For me, it started out in junior high. Instead of doing your classwork, I'm doodling on the paper, on the covers. There were book covers back then. From there, it just took off.
A lot of times, when I didn't feel like getting in trouble, I stayed home and drew. And I guess that's how I ended up here.
Somebody in my neighborhood was drawing block letters, and we started drawing that. And then I wrote my name on the wall in '84, and I liked it. And then I wrote it somewhere else, and then somewhere else.
East Austin was a poor man's working neighborhood and the poor working family's neighborhood. So you had all these kids living together, within a few blocks of each other, or going to slightly different schools or whatnot.
There was artwork around. It wasn't graffiti, but there was a lot of artwork. I want to say Raul Valdez did a Pan Am. There was one that was at the Lincoln Juarez building where the IHOP is now. When I first saw it, that was the biggest and the most colorful mural, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. This is for the raza. Yeah. This is for the
meeting Scam. Somebody said, hey, there's this other kid, he writes graffiti, he's better than you. And I thought, no, that's impossible. In the summer of '84. And yeah, wow. So we battled it out, he won, and I went to his house later on. We hung out the next day, and we hung out every day after that.
I was in the alleys, a lot of alleys on Willow Street, in Canterbury, just going and painting on fences. I remember our earliest first one was a Charlie Brown doing a head spit.
Go to school in the morning, in the afternoon, grab my markers and paint, go home, eat dinner. As soon as my mom falls asleep, bam, I'm out the back door. As long as I'm home before she wakes up at 4 o'clock, I'm good.
I was like, well, damn, if that's part of hip hop, I'm already breakdancing. I want to be a part of that. So that's how that got into play.
Not only did the kids from the south side come to the east side to breakdance battle, we got to hit up walls in their neighborhood and then burn back off.
You'd start seeing Robert's work. You'd start seeing Scam's work. You start seeing Tanner and Raymond's, artwork going up. And so people started noticing there's something a little bit cooler than just, gang stuff going on. Easter of 1990, there was a gang shooting right at Chicano Park. Later on, there was a knock on my door, and it was like a 13, 14-year-old kid that I knew, and he was like, I was there. And at the same time, I was working to do a mural at Metz Park. So what I did, instead of doing my mural, I asked these guys if they wanted to get together and do a mural.
If it was our deal, we probably would have still been doing pieces. But he had his 2 cents in about making every mural a theme, stay in school, stop the violence, don't drink and drive.
They didn't want us getting in trouble. They said, you know what, you guys have a talent. Y'all spray paint, let's use that so that, so y'all won't get in trouble, and maybe y'all can help other kids from getting in trouble.
Of course, we all thought we were graffiti masters then.
What else you doing?
Ooh, man. There's some pieces I did. I wouldn't show my damn dog. And there were some really nice ones. It's usually the nice ones that go first.
In 1990, I met Scam. I met Al Martinez. He was teaching graffiti classes at the Dougherty Arts Center, and my mother worked there, and she said, hey, there's this graffiti artist. I want you to come meet him. I was so excited and anxious to even meet these guys that being a helper, buffing their wall, being their caddy, carrying their crates, it was an honor,
It went from being this hip hop graffiti writing, outlaw thing to, for a lot of us, to wow, all of a sudden you had to be mentors. The Holly Power Plant thing was maybe a beginning for one generation, but it was kind of like the graduation party for the graffiti writers of my generation. The young kids we were when we first writing, the 14, 15-year-olds, by then we had children, some had gotten married, by then I was already married. And you had to kind of focus on what you were going to do in life.
After my brother passed away in 1994, passed away January 28th, 1994 in Houston, Texas. Our family moved to Austin shortly after his death, and it was crazy because it was like the minute that I moved back into the same neighborhood that I grew up in, I saw murals up in memory of my brother, and it was a little bit overwhelming for me because, it was still pretty fresh. I was like, wow, okay. So these guys, I don't know how to say it, but they were all really, really close.
Those murals mean a lot. As far as I know, that's some of Al Martinez's last work standing, and I would hate to see it painted over.
Because what it really is it's about the people in East Austin, and their backgrounds are reflected in a big way when it comes to graffiti art. So bringing it back to life and keeping it there is extremely important to not just me, but to a lot of people.
Have to show that you can't come in our hood and demolish a piñata store and then come and then paint over a mural that's a loteria.
To know that you were involved in something that had become bigger than you, that had carried on, that it was part of a worldwide network, and yeah, like I say, it's cool.